Hello there, and welcome to Aces Wild. Most shows probably wouldn't spin around twice. They do like that cool news turn, but we're not most shows. We're gonna spin around twice. So, it's our 10th season in Aces Spades Fantasy Football League, and it's been great. We added some rule changes this year, and also got a new owner. Welcome to CC. So I just thought, why not do a show as well? And it can be our show, Aces Wild. We're all aces. We're all wild. It can be anything we want. Right now, I'm the guy in the sport coat here, but you can be too. If you want to hop on Skype with me, I'd love it. If you want to fly out here, that'd be great. If you want me to meet you somewhere, it has to be a public location. But other than that, let's just make it what we want it to be, and let's have a great year. So let's get things started. I got the rundown over here somewhere. Yes, maybe. And today we're going to talk about the wire. We're going to talk about value, the matchup of the week, and also hopefully we'll have an interview. If not, I'll erase that part and we'll save it for next week. And we're also going to share some tweets of the week. So it should be good. Let's get it started now. Let's talk the wire. And as much as I'd love it to be about Omar and Bunk and McNulty, we're actually going to be talking about the waiver wire today. Leading into the first week, we've had some action. It's going to be better and more interesting as we go along. We're going to have some great pickups, I'm sure. Last year we saw Alfred Morris, Randall Cobb, guys like that really change the season. So we're going to take a look quickly at what's happened so far. We've had some kicker moves. Chris Campbell dropped Shane Graham because he got cut from Cleveland. We've had Richie making a score of moves just like last year. He's got 4 moves already this year. He's probably going to need each move he makes because his team had a lot of guys on it that aren't on NFL rosters. So we got him doing a little Pittsburgh carousel here of dropping LaRod Stevens-Howling, picking up Isaac Redman, which is a great pickup, I think. That's going to be at 10 points this week because he's starting. Brandon Lloyd getting dropped for Jacoby Jones. We got him also doing Michael Turner getting dropped for Vincent Brown, and Jacoby Jones, who he just picked up, dropped for Mike Tolbert. So there's Richie moving, shaking, like always. And other guy had a great pickup. He took Heath Miller and put him to waivers to pick up Sudfield. I don't know how you say it. I don't care. He's got long hair, and he didn't murder people like Hernandez, allegedly. So he's probably going to, I think he's like a 10-point projected guy this week too, so that's a nice pickup. And Quay actually acquired a kicker because he didn't draft one. So that's what we got for this week on the wire. I'm going to give the best move, LaRod Stevens-Howling being dropped for Isaac Redman. Yeah, that's it. Time now for matchup of the week. Let's get to it. All right, so this first week we don't have much to go off of other than, I'm going to go off Yahoo projected points because I'm sure they have people that get paid very well to make projections. I don't always trust them, but let's do it for this week just for the sake of the fun that we will have. All right, so I'm going to look at the total points that can be scored by the matchup and kind of how close it is. That's how I'm going to do this. And the 3 that jump out at me right away, myself, Sports Concern, versus Finkel's Einhorn, Tyler, Squirrel versus Dave, other guy, and Chris Campbell versus Oral Raping, Jonathan Pippis. I don't like saying Chris Campbell and Oral Raping together. That's bizarre. But I will say it because it's a team name. Yes, I will. And I know it's going to come back to bite me. I'm sure you guys will put like Dave likes blah, and I'll have to say it. But I'll deal with that when it comes. Anyway, the best matchup I think of those 3 is Oral Raping and Chris Campbell. The Pippis is projected for almost 128, Chris for about 121. I think they just have a really fun kind of close matchup across the board. It was hard for me even to pick some of the positions. I'm going to run through them real quickly. QB, Pippis has Eli and Cam Newton. CC has Colin and Romo, Colin Kaepernick that is. I gave the QB edge here to CC. I like Kaepernick at Green Bay more than I like Cam Newton in Seattle. yeah, that's it. So that's the logistics there. And Romo and Eli play each other. Moving on to receivers, Pimpus has Garcon, Deshaun Jackson, Cecil Short versus Kenbrell Tompkins, Eric Decker, and LaShawn McCoy on CC's side. I gave this edge to nobody because I don't like getting off the fence. So I thought it was a pretty close matchup. I'm intrigued to see what happens. Pimpus could have some home runs from his side. So we'll just see what happens there. Running back I gave to Pimpus. Frank Gore and Jamal Charles against CC's LaShawn McCoy and Darren Sproles. Reasoning is just, again, in New Orleans, we always doubt Sproles every year, and he turns in some crazy season with all his receptions. But, it's not a PPR league. I like Jamal Charles in that Andy Reid offense. Gore seems to always come through. And, it's close, but I'm going to go with Pimpus. Tight end, Jimmy Graham for Pimpus. Jared Cook for CC. Definitely going Jimmy Graham. No need to talk about it. Kicker, also no need to talk about. Defense, Cleveland for Pimpus, Baltimore for CC. Baltimore's playing Denver, and Cleveland's playing Miami. They had kind of a lot of pieces they're still trying to put together there. I like Cleveland. I really like their front seven. Hayden's good. I think TJ Ward's kind of pretty decent at safety. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. It's not really a surprise anymore. People have been talking about it. I'm not like an expert here. But I think Cleveland is a good pick. They're probably going to get some turnovers out of that game. So, slight edge in the matchup of the week to oral raping. Never thought I'd be saying that, let alone on camera. But there it is. Let's talk about value. Right now. What people got in the draft. Today I'm going to cover running backs. We saw, if you're looking at like the top 15 guys, or the supposed top 15 guys, we saw three really different groups of running backs price-wise. We had guys that went in the 50 above range. We had guys that went in the 30 to 35 range, I'm going to call it, and then guys that went for about 20 or under. And it's crazy when you look at some of these guys and the differences between them, because the 50 and plus guys are the top tier, but some of the top tier guys snuck down into the 30-35 range. So it's unbelievable what you can save if you're willing to wait for the right opportunity and potentially lose out on people too. I've seen other drafts this year where people do lose out on starting running backs or premier running backs because they're trying to be too cheap. So, if you want AP, someone went out, I think Connor went out and spent $70 on him. Arian Foster, 54, Lynch, 51, Rice, 52, Martin, 54, Spiller, 47, and Richardson, 50. That's my $50 and up group. And then the second tier, which has some first tier guys in it, McCoy, 35, Jamal Charles, $30, Chris Johnson, 31, Alfred Morris, 33. So you're getting a couple guys that everyone would argue are, really in the top 5 or 6 with Charles and Morris probably. Morris maybe towards the back of 10, but you're getting guys still for $20 less than other guys are spending, and they're still in that top 10. So that's really interesting. That's where the market kind of set itself. And Jamal Charles, went later, so that's a matter of also people not budgeting right or just already having their guys and Pimpus being patient. But, Alfred Morris went 6th or something like that, I think. So, and for him to go for 33, that's drastically different than some of these other guys. Even better values, Matt Forte, $22. Reggie Bush, 18. Steven Jackson, 18. Again, those are guys that everyone would say are top 15 guys, and they're getting them for, $52 cheaper than Adrian Peterson. And then the real bargains, I say that every time, but David Wilson, $9. Eddie Lacy, $8. Lamar Miller, $5. Sproles, $2. Darrell Richardson, $1. Mendenhall, $1. So these are all starters, and when we're all looking for them, we'll know why we didn't get them. We spent too much at times in the front end to get the premier talent. Good value there. So that's our value talk for today. Okay, so time now for our first one-on-one interview. It's with Jonathan Pimpus, owner of Oral Raping, and we're going to do draft grades. Now, the segment was pretty long, so I just cut out his kind of state of the union about his team, which is what I want to do with other people on the show. So if you want to see the full draft grades for each and every team, how we ranked them out, what we gave letter grades. It's pretty sweet. It'll be on YouTube as a separate episode, the full episode. But for now, here's Jonathan Pimpus. Run me through your team quickly.
Well, Cam Newton was a guy that I targeted that I wanted as my top quarterback going in because I knew that I probably with what I wanted to do with my strategy I was going to be priced out of the top guys, but I was worried I was going to be priced out of Cam too. But I waited and luckily I got him for a good value. I wanted to get another top guy, and well, as in top guy I mean one of the upper half quarterbacks, and I did an Eli Manning, and I still was able to get one of the top stud running backs that I like a lot. He's actually my number 4th rated running back, Jamal Charles. I went a little weak on wide receiver because I feel Jimmy Graham is actually, after the top 3 receivers, I feel he's better than the rest of the receivers, and it's a scarce position. So I went a little weak there at receiver, but Pierre Garcon is the guy that I like a lot this year. I think he's going to finish. I think he's going to be one of the guys that's going to move up into the top 10 receivers this year. So I was pretty happy with waiting on receivers and still getting Garcon, Jackson, and Shorts. Those are all guys I rank very highly. And then I was able to get Eddie Lacy and Darrell Richardson on the bench, as well as still manage a third quarterback, even though he's pretty weak. So I was pretty happy with the overall way to draft. I was actually very happy with how it was going. Once I saw a couple other teams, I felt that, you know, there was a couple other people in there that compete with me, but right now I feel just as confident as ever.
Oh, hey, sorry. I was just checking my tweet of the week. Been waiting to say that all episode. It's pretty sweet. Our tweet of the week this week comes from Tim's frustration with his QB situation. So after the last preseason game, he tweeted, "Thank God," because he thought Flynn would be named the starter. Then 3 days ago, he tweets, "Allen needs to stop playing with my emotions," when the Raiders made an announcement about not announcing a starter until game day. But I think you're screwed either way, Tim, because we've all heard that Pryor's now going to be the starter. So, yeah, you better figure that out because you got one QB. So tweet about that maybe. So, we made it through our first episode of Aces Wild, and I am rewarding myself with this Trisket. Interviews, quotes, trash talk. You got ideas for segments. If you want to help me judge things when I'm picking winners and doing crazy stuff like that, let me know. Thanks for sticking with us again. Tweet us at Ace of Spades FF. Yeah, it's all together, one word, just because I stuttered. Doesn't mean like spaces or anything. Ace of Spades FF. Go there now. Follow all season. Best of luck. See you on the digital gridiron.